Hey there, this is Catherine Lane, and welcome to Catherine's Conversations in the Country. Normally, we do this at my house, but it's 100 degrees outside, and the lady that I wanted to talk to is traveling right now, so we're talking on Zoom. You may recognize her because she was just our sweetheart for how many years did you work here,
I
Pinkie?
was there from 2006 to 2000 and I want to say 10 or 11.
Yeah, well, we love you. We'll always love you. You made such an impact while you were here. Like I say, you may recognize her as Pinkie. Her real name is Sierra. And Sierra is talking with me today about mental health and how mental health has affected where she is in her life today. Pinkie, we just talked last week about the fact that you lost your husband, Jeremy, to suicide. It was a complete shock to you, although you knew he was upset about losing his best friend the same way.
Mhm.
But of course, you know, if we could predict someone taking their own life, there'd never be any more suicides.
Right, exactly.
You just, you just can't predict it or feel guilty if a loved one does it. You
Yes,
just have to try to understand how to move forward from there and hopefully how to help yourself and help other people along the way.
absolutely.
So you've got a beautiful little girl,
Yeah,
Jim, who your husband lives on through.
yeah.
She looks
She,
so much like him.
yes. And she acts like him. I said that she is a female version of him because she is fearless. She is not scared to jump off of anything.
So will you parent her differently now? Will you talk to her in a different way
I
now?
have to because I'm having to be obviously both parents, and I have to be more firm. Where I felt like I was probably more soft and cuddly, which I still can be, but raising her by myself, I have to, be stern. Obviously, grandparents they get the soft spot with the spoiling and everything, but also like she knows, that her daddy is in heaven, and we look at pictures and videos all the time. Like if she sees a picture of him, she's like, "That's my daddy," and she is quick to tell people that her daddy is in heaven. So we'll have that conversation about why, of course, later on, when she's older, because she's only 3.
Right, right.
Um, but I feel like it is a blessing in a way that it happened when she was so young. So she won't have those memories. And she'll only remember the good things about him. She won't remember the times when his mental health really wasn't good and he's, pretty much spiraling. Um, so I am thankful for that. And I've just, covered her in prayers that, generational curse of mental illness
Yeah.
broken with her because unfortunately it is a genetic um, trait that ran in Jeremy's family. His mom attempted twice when he was younger. Um, and so his mom now is a huge advocate for
Well, it
mental illness
is. Yeah.
and suicide prevention for sure.
It's like any other disease that
Yes.
runs in families.
Mhm.
That's what people need to understand. I think that mental illness, my grandson, your husband, died by suicide as a result of mental illness.
Mhm.
Um, and just like as if it had been heart disease or cancer or anything else,
Yeah.
it's inherited. But there are some steps that you can take. uh, I think now, knowing what we know now, I think I would have parented my children differently in
Mhm.
terms of their mental health. I would have done more mental health checkups, just like their physical
Mhm.
checkups, more
Yeah.
mental health checkups along the
Yeah.
way, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
well, how are you doing, Pinkie?
I'm
How are you?
good. So I quit drinking 200 and I think it's 95 days ago now.
That's amazing.
And that's another thing that ran in my family is alcoholism. And in the beginning, you know, I thought that I was doing pretty well with his death and my healing journey and my grieving journey and everything, but alcohol just masked that. So once I quit drinking, I felt things full force, and that's the only way you can heal is by
Feel
feeling
it.
everything.
You got to feel it.
Yep, yep. But you know, I have a great family. I have wonderful friends. I have a wonderful church family. I have an amazing boyfriend. God put him in my life. I met him when I least expected and was not trying to meet anybody. So I have a wonderful support team, and going to the gym that helps me for my mental health more than anything. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be days that are harder than others, especially when those anniversaries come up. It's the death anniversary is always the hardest for me. The birthday and Father's Day are all in the same month. So the month of June can be kind of heavy for me. And it was this year because it was my first year not drinking and dealing with all of that. So, like a few weeks leading up to it, I was like, I am having a really hard time.
Of course.
So,
the waves come hard, and sometimes you see them coming, and sometimes they come straight out of still water. But it sounds like you've got a lot of things in place that I have in place too. And that is, you've got your faith, you've got your family, you've got your support system, your friends. You get out there and you get some physical exercise. And I love that you've allowed yourself a new love in your life.
Yes.
And it's got to take a special person to be a partner of someone who has lost their spouse to suicide. That's got to be difficult.
Absolutely. And I had made a list for myself of what I was looking for moving forward in my next relationship. And one of the most important things was that that person was going to be okay with me honoring Jeremy's memory. Because
forever, always.
You know, everybody can't do that, and as well as loving a child like their own. Because I dated someone for years beforehand, and they said that they could never be with somebody that had kids because they couldn't love them like their own. And I was like, well, wow, that is super selfish. But
at least he was honest.
He was, and there's a reason why that didn't last. But yeah, my partner, he checks off 16 out of 17 things I had on my list. So he is a blessing.
That's awesome. I'm glad you both have him. I'm glad you're doing so many of the right things. Thank you for sharing your story. And when we talk next week, we're going to talk about your foundation, which is a big old bite to chomp off. But if anybody can do it, you can. And we'll talk about that next time. Thank you, Pinkie.
You're welcome.